Donald Trump is not well, and it's making him crazy. There's a report that his last visit to Walter Reed for an annual physical, 4 months after his last annual physical, it included an MRI of his brain. Here's what they saw. And the numbers, they don't lie. Every day, more Americans hate tiny fingers, and it's getting to them. And it's not just the communist Democrats who are turning on him.
The overwhelming majority of Republicans in Washington secretly hate Trump, and they're too afraid of him to say so, but they hate him. Lindsey Graham, obviously. Ted Cruz really hates him. Mark Levin openly hates him.
So why is he freaking out now? Well, Ipsos, Quinnipiac, Reuters, and USA Today polls, well, the numbers continue to fall. To put it simply, Trump is realizing that without the presidency, none of his base or the supposed supporters will stand by him.
Republicans hate Donald Trump.
And there's something going on with the Epstein list, too, that could crush him permanently.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
So Trump knows the midterms could cut him off at the legs, and his actions reveal his insanity, deploying U.S. troops and ICE in mostly Democratic cities, attacking ships at seas with no proof or cause, and Trump's economy, baked inside his bass-ackward ideas, are collapsing on top of him. It started with this.
Tariffs. To me, I think it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary. More beautiful than love.
I'm feeling like I have a pretty strong hand if I'm in Beijing now. I think these tariff threats have become less and less impactful, and I don't think Beijing is taking them as seriously. And today's trade data coming out of China just underscores that Beijing is becoming less dependent on the U.S. market and exporting a lot more to the rest of the world.
Trump has literally concocted economic principles that have either been proven to not work or he's simply making shit up.
We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world.
When you put a tariff on a product, it is not that the other country gets taxed per se. It's that the cost gets pushed on to the consumer here in the United States. That's how it works.
His big, beautiful bill was not only rejected by Democrats, but Dairy Queen even turned on him. The very reason the Democrats won't cave in on the shutdown.
The ACA subsidies, do you want to see them extended before the end of the year?
What I want to see is I want to see Republicans and Democrats come together on a plan that's literally going to help Americans afford health insurance. Because right now the health insurance industry is completely broken. The current system in place, which was passed by the Democrats in 2010, those credits do expire. And if they do expire, we're going to see millions of Americans' health insurance premiums double and even maybe upwards from that.
Trump's beautiful bill is a clusterfuck on so many levels, but especially on the elimination of the ACA premiums that once removed will leave 15 million Americans without health insurance. And no one likes it.
How do Americans feel about the big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, if we're talking about adjectives, how about they think it's awful, they think it's horrible, and to quote our colleague Charles Barkley, terrible, terrible, terrible. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at the net favorable rating on the big, beautiful bill. I don't just got one poll for you, Omar. I got 5 of them, and the net favorable rating, minus 19 points, Washington Post, minus 20 points, Pew Research Center, Fox minus 21, Quinnipiac University minus 26, KFF minus 29. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that when the net favorable rating of your bill is somewhere between minus 19 and minus 29 points, that it is not a positive bill as viewed by the American public. The American public at this particular point hate the big, beautiful bill. As far as they're concerned, it's not a big, beautiful bill. It's a big, bad bill.
So over the weekend, Trump does what he does best, insanity. Listen to this exchange with a reporter, and you tell me if this man sounds well.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, you know. When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions. Like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. So they say, could you repeat that?
And then there's his tweeting away with his deranged declarations wrapped inside his declining cognitive state.
Many people are petrified by the radical left, but I'm not. After winning 3 elections by a lot, I'm now getting the best polling numbers I've ever received.
Okay, now Pouty Fuckwinkle is back at the 2020 was rigged bullshit, so let's do a quick review.
Also, breaking tonight, Attorney General Bill Barr says the Justice Department has not found any evidence of voter fraud that would change the outcome of the presidential election. That, of course, contradicts claims made by President Trump.
60 court cases and not one found any evidence that the 2020 election was anything but it was, a repudiation of Trump. But of course, he's not all there.
They had what?
People see how strong the economy is, the trillions of dollars of investment pouring into our country, the record-setting strong border, after years of millions of criminals pouring through it, totally unvetted and unchecked, ending 8 wars in 8 months, no men playing in women's sports, no transgender for everyone, rapidly falling energy prices, and much more.
Wow, that's a boatload of crazy, so let's start here. Who's actually investing in our country? Not China, not Europe. Apple still makes their iPhones overseas, and Nike will never make a shoe here. And more undocumented people came into the U.S. under Trump's first term than Biden's last 4 years. Look it up, it's true. But here's where he really leaves the building.
Despite all of this, the radical left losers are taking fake ads, not showing real polls, but rather saying that I'm polling at low levels. These are the people I've been beating for years, and I'm continuing to do so, but even by bigger margins. These ads should not be allowed to run because they're fake.
Of course, he's referring to the latest shit-his-pants moment when Ontario, pushing back on Trump's call for Canada to become a 51st state, then intimating that we could take Canada by force, and then the tariffs against our biggest trading partner. Well, Ontario created this ad that is running in the World Series, showing Reagan's attack on tariffs. Trump cried fraud and said it was fake, but actually these were Reagan's exact words.
High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse. Markets shrink and collapse. Businesses and industries shut down.
Of course, Trump never specifies which polls are fake and etc. But he's really exhibiting signs of paranoia and a problem with recognizing reality, all of which are exacerbated whenever something doesn't go his way.
Eating the dogs.
You're an idiot! And now it's getting dangerous. There's these attacks on Venezuelan boats, pretending it's about drugs coming into the U.S. from this South American country. But here's my question. If the border is as secure as Fatty Twat Waffle declares, how would they get in? Maybe it's not about the drugs.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
Look, today, everyone is nervous because he's unhinged. And the question is this: will the Republicans grow a spine before Trump does what he's already said he will do, interfere with the midterms and run against the Constitution in 2028? Because if that's not enough to get your attention, maybe you're the one who needs the MRI.
I think the president is definitely f***ing Satan.
I kept my underwear on.
I'm very excited about that.
You're a nasty person.
Go fuck yourself.
Goddamn right. They know how to get to me.
A witch hunt.
Suck my fat one.
They had what?
Who you talking to?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
So this is the guy that peddles in garbage.
I'm Chip Franklin.